Today, Spirit talks about honesty and wisdom and how do the two match up. And of course, they actually do match up, because how can we demonstrate wisdom if we're not able to find a capacity to be honest with ourselves and honest with others? Because that does align. Because when we have to tell someone the honest to God truth, are we going to do that really bluntly, tactlessly? How are we going to do that? And should we? And that is the wisdom part that then says, right, so being honest can be done in many different ways. And the one way that comes in my mind that Spirit is suggesting today is asking questions. So sometimes we know the answer, but nobody likes being told what to do. So real wisdom is asking people questions so they discover their own authentic answer in that process. For example, say you know that somebody is not going well in their personal romantic relationship. You get a sense of that from your wisdom. You get a sense of that intuitively. So instead of saying, oh, Spirit tells me that there's something wrong with your relationship, you just say, how is your relationship? So, and then people will be honest. They'll be like, oh, they will engage. So sometimes knowing the answer is not necessarily, you're not God. None of us are God. So we are asking questions to help people recognize their truth. So when you ask, how is your relationship? Their realization that the answer that they're going to give is their realization of like, actually, it's not great, or actually it's good. It's having its moments, right? So it's always up to the person to answer, and to answer in their own level of capacity at that time. So this is what Spirit is asking you today, to remember to be honest and use honesty, but holding the honesty in your mind with wisdom gives you really beautiful outcomes. Because, you know, if you're anything like me, you don't like being told what to do. So you got to reflect that onto other people. Realistically, there's 8 billion people on the planet who do not like being told what to do. So don't become one of those people who's walking around telling people what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Just do you and be your own wise self, honestly and authentically, in a really beautiful way. So we're going to pick 3 cards. You know the deal. The left, the right, and the middle. You can choose any one of those, or you can take all 3. If you chose the left card, this card is saying that there is a new chapter, and it's about being authentically different. So these 2 birds are flying in different directions, right? Doesn't mean you shouldn't be together. And it's also got the beautiful manifesting moon over here, right? So it doesn't mean that 2 people shouldn't be together because they have compelling differences of opinion or different perspectives. It's about allowing that, being together. So Spirit is encouraging you to put a bit of a fresh hat on, put a bit of a fresh new perspective on how you and another person work together, whether that's at your workplace, whether that's romantically, whether that's a friendship, whatever it is. Spirit is encouraging you to do that in a different and unique and beautiful spiritual way. Righties. Well, they're really on about it today. So this card is talking about it's your responsibility to behave like an old soul. So, you know, so often I hear parents especially talking to me about how they've always had the sense that their child is an old soul, or even individually I hear people say, like, I know I'm an old soul. Well, when you know you're an old soul, that brings with it, as much as it may sound beautiful and sound very wise and very out there, the fact of the matter is that brings a level of responsibility to behave well, to use your intuitive wisdom, to use your knowledge and wisdom in a really powerful, enlightened way. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Because people will poke the bear. People will tell you what you could or should be doing. People will tell you what to do. And sometimes that is best framed in silence. So Spirit is, and also Spirit reflects that the most important thing then to do, if you believe that, is to make that time each day to connect to Spirit, to try and understand your connection, to have that conversation with your Ascended Masters or Spirit team or whatever you want to call it, okay? it's your responsibility. And in fact, as you work towards your soul purpose, you will find that there is more and more and more and more to do. And being an old soul is certainly not the easiest path, but it's a very doable and rewarding path, apparently. Middle card. So perhaps this is a card for I can't say it. No, so this card is showing that there is an opportunity for change, and not to block the opportunity through fear. So when you are afraid that something is not going to end well, it can make us not do anything. So we feel like we just can't cope, and it is a new moon, and that's the ability to actually write on the blank sky, this beautiful indigo sky. If you are able to see it tonight without clouds, then you will be able to see loads more stars, because it's not being refracted out due to the moon, because there's barely any moon. So allowing yourself to imagine that's like a blackboard where you can write, I would really like, as though you're making a wish for your future. And Spirit is encouraging you not to block it, because over here, this very much looks like what's happening on the world stage. There's houses and a city on fire. And that can make us feel like, why would I be so special as to be thinking about improving my life when so much catastrophe is happening on the planet? So Spirit is encouraging you, don't block an opportunity because of what's happening elsewhere. It is nice to be thoughtful and to send positive energy, and to do our best to encourage other people to hold that space as well. So Spirit is encouraging you to recognize that there is a goal, an opportunity, an amazing opportunity on a project of some sort that it's time for you to say yes to. Enjoy.